All right, what's up everyone? Sean here, and welcome to another vlogging video featuring my garage and my setup and all that stuff. Yes, this is the, more specifically, the detailing journal, where I kind of unload everything from my chest onto a video, and so that I can show you guys what I've been up to, what I have, and all that stuff somehow in some way, as always in these journals. So they tend to be pretty long. Yes, I do get a little yappy and stuff like that, but that's just how it goes. And that's what these videos are there for. So I don't have to do it in another video. So anyways, I've been working on this little space for quite a bit of time now, over the past few months, starting from pretty much like by the end of December to all the way up to this point. And then even like throughout by the end of the year-ish, and then stuff happens which definitely put a pause on a lot of the detailing stuff, mainly this part, which was to get all the asbestos tiles out during the three weeks of that December of last year, pretty much. So that definitely put a stop on those plans. But it kind of all just like unloaded and became one after another. And but I'm pretty happy with how it's been coming out up to this point. So let me just take you guys through. This might be like some repeating points from like my stationary rinseless wash setup, because you do see the reel right there, of course. And there might be some differences, right? You may notice here, for those who follow the channel. If you know, you know. But anyways, up here is not super different, but that could change over time, over the course of this year. But anyways, we'll see about that. So what I mainly wanted to show you guys is what's going on around this corner right here, and then a little bit of over here, and then maybe if I'm not forgetting anything, maybe I'll take you guys over there. But anyway, mainly over here. This is the main attraction for today's video. And so let me take you guys through what the big changes have been going on. So let's start with the reel. Of course, this was one of the main pieces for my newly rinseless wash setup. So basically, for those who don't know, a little bit of a quick TLDR and catch up for those who kind of missed out. Basically, I wanted to make a rinseless wash setup that would require just, essentially grabbing a gun, and then that's it. Like turn on the motor over there and such. That kind of setup I've kind of been thinking about for a good while, like even starting from last fall 2025, and then Kiev, or Cars with Kiev, basically showed off his little rinseless wash setup in the corner of his garage. So that kind of like inspired me to finally get that going. I actually had a different reel first. It was supposed to be a air hose reel, but then I came to realize, and I should have thought about it a little more before I just had that sort of moment of like buying shit so fast, right? Everyone has those moments, right? You just buy something so fast you don't even think about, because you just thought it's so cool or whatever. But anyways, I had an air hose reel at first from Amazon Basics, which I'm surprised actually that they made such a product. But anyway, this is actually from Moe's, I think it is, Maaco, excuse me. Maaco's pressure washer reel is now up here instead of the air hose reel. So the swap was actually relatively easy, since the bolts back there just stayed, and all I had to do was loosen the nuts, and then the whole reel just came off really easy. Unlike this setup right here, of how I did it right here. So if I were to swap this out, it'd be more of a pain in the ass. But I guess it is what it is. But anyways, hopefully we won't have to get to that point anytime soon. But anyways, this is now a pressure washer rated reel I do have now. And the reason why, and again, I should have thought about this, is because the air hose reel that I had offered little corrosion resistance. So I didn't notice whenever I did shoot the rinseless wash, it starts off brownish because that's the corrosion or rust that accumulated from the reel. So, you know, obviously you don't want that to be the start. And you don't want that, I don't think, on the car anyway. So I made a very rapid decision, as my purchase was so rapid, to swap out or buy and swap out this reel. So that did cost me another reel, or that did cost me another, like, what, $50 just to correct it. But the overall sort of swap and correction, all that stuff, it actually was done in like 10 minutes or 15 even at most. And then what I did, though, even beyond that, was a couple more additions. So right here, if you guys can see that, I know the lighting's a little dark here. That's another idea I do have in mind for a future garage project. But anyway, you can see where the sort of inlet is, or receiver, what do you want to call it? Or actually outlet, I don't know. This part does come with this elbow right here, but even then, this hose, this is still an air hose, by the way, so it's the same Flexilla hose, but this piece right here does make it so that it did stick out like crazy. It was easy to like stick out like this. So I bought another elbow. This is like just like a brass elbow. This is a 3/8 what do you call pipe thread male to a 1/4 inch. No, excuse me. Another 3/8 right here, female, and right here is an adapter that I had. Right, this is from the previous one, so I just reused it and moved it over here. This is an adapter or reducer going from 3/8 to a 1/4 inch pipe thread, and that of course would fit this air hose from Flexilla. And of course now you have a much, now I have a much cleaner sort of connection. It's not like sticking out like this. Now it's actually properly like sitting like this, and then a little less of a kink right here or bend, but it overall just makes it a little cleaner from here. So it's not like sticking out like here. So when I put my hand on it, on the handle, this is not hitting me. So it's now it's sticking up like this. So it's perpendicular from my hand, where it was more parallel with where my hand was. So it was actually would hit my hand. So reeling it, the actual reeling, was a bit of a clunky experience until I got an extra elbow right here for this part. So that's actually makes a difference. You know, buying one more part for a reel like this would make a huge difference. I would suggest doing that if you were to even get a pressure washer hose. It would be very helpful for yourselves to get another elbow, so that the M22 wouldn't stick out so much out as you hold on to the reel when you reel it in or whatever. So otherwise it's the same gun and everything. I do plan to change this part, which is another project, because it's just too long. It's such a long setup. I guess what I'm planning to do, though, no matter what, it's just like I'm realizing now that I've been like over engineering this part, and what I could do is just remove this and just put that to here, and then now it's just this. So it's gonna make a huge difference, honestly. And then I'm gonna just probably put this in storage, because one, it literally cuts this part by half. I mean, although granted, I will lose out on the swivel, so actually that might be a bit of a hindrance, honestly. And maybe I can find a swivel part for the hose, but anyway. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it again, because if I were to cut this part, I'm going to lose out on the ball swivel part. Although I don't know, would it make it such a huge difference though? I mean, I don't know. That's the honestly the toughest part. The reason I have this part in the first place is so that I can swap out to any garden hose sort of gun to test out whether that's a good way to distribute rinseless wash or not. So I thought, hey, why don't I just have this too, to have the ball swivel. But yeah, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I just now making myself like, I'm putting myself in the crossroads. Like, should I get rid of this part and just have this? But if I do, I'm going to miss out on the ball swivel part. So it's kind of difficult. But then again, I should probably just have this part be swapped out for the ball swivel, so I can just buy another one from Flexzilla once again, and then splice it, and then just do another repair or whatever. So that way I can just get rid of this part, and then not even need the ball swivel here, and then now I can just have this part. So that'll potentially save me a lot of like space or whatever you call it. So that way I don't have this long thing, you know, to make it a little more sleek. So yeah, that's my little yapping about that part. Oh yeah, what's cool about this hose reel is that it actually has a lock on it. So, you know, whenever it's necessary, I guess, I can like, actually I think it is on lock right now. No, actually it is not. So what you can do is move this pin, and then you move it down like that, I believe. And then there's a little bit of a knob right here, or notch, I should say. And then when you move the reel to one of the holes, it'll click and lock in like that. And that way you don't, you know, have a hole just come off loose like that by accident or whatever reasoning you want to lock your hose, right? Whatever it be, you know, whether it be like safety reasons or whatever, something snags, and I don't know. Anyway, it has a lock on it. It's pretty neat, I guess, and that and it could be useful in some cases. Okay. Other than that, I kind of like rearranged some of this stuff because now I can talk about this part. So what I have here are these mounts for my foam cannons. Right now it's a little bit of a mess because I didn't like think of the spacing through as well. And this was originally supposed to be for the nozzle right here, the little shower nozzle for the pressure washer, or the, you know, some people call it the Kiev nozzle, but I just call it a shower nozzle. So that's the shower nozzle for the pressure washer gun. It used to be up here, but then I wanted to, and then I had the foam cannon down here. But because of the newest arrangements I made, now it's not making it as possible or even possible to do that. So I switched around the foam cannon arrangement a little bit. So, and you notice too, these are foam cannon mounts that you can buy on Amazon. This is from MINGLE, but what's special about this one is that it has an automatic quick connect right here, meaning that you can just push it in and it'll connect it just like that. Whereas, you know, you have to kind of like move it around or whatever. You have to hold it with it's a two-handed operation when you do quick connects typically, but with this you can just actually use one hand and then do that, and then also use one hand to just connect it like that. Same thing over here. These are all automatic quick connects from MINGLE, and so it makes it pretty easy to just like take the foam cannons off for me to use in the future. And this one, this one's a little more rough. We'll probably have to like break it in more, but anyway, it's kind of nice though, yeah, because I can just take it off with one hand and then use this foam cannon for today or whatever, and just whenever I'm done, use it put it back in, and it'll usually should click, but sometimes it's a little rough on the edges. But yeah, that's the kind of trade-off you do. I do have another kind of automatic quick connect for these foam cannon mounts, but it's a lot more expensive, and the quality could be a little mixed. I do have another one down here, and right now I have my angled sort of short wand for the pressure washer gun down here just to hold it for me, which is pretty cool. And then I haven't tried this out, but this is a turbo nozzle, stainless steel turbo nozzle. Typically these do come with your typical electric pressure washer. It's the black one that's like kind of long. It looks like a lead weight for fishing. Usually what turbo nozzles do is they like spin your water stream, and that creates a more of a cleaning capability, or creates more cleaning force, if that makes sense, as you spray from your pressure washer. I have yet to try this one out for the car. This is supposed to be around a 3.5 or 3.0 orifice. So that's for me to try out, hopefully sometime soon. But this is what my sort of setup is looking like more. You know, these cool looking foam cannon mounts. Now I can like have it nicely held, displayed and all that stuff for people to see, or just for me to have for functional reasons. I mean, who wouldn't want to have, you know, foam cannons mounted like this, and not to only display them, but to actually hold them, because when you put them over here, because the balancing on these foam cannons are awful, they just fall over, and it's just so annoying. So if you buy these mounts, that takes out that out of the equation. So that's been very nice, and kind of is a bit of a luxury, sure, but it just looks cool and very handy in a way, depending on how far are you into when it comes to car detailing. So yeah, this whole corner right here has been kind of been getting a lot of a makeover. As you can see here, also has been a bit of a change from that one video I made with the Rinseless wash reel. Besides the reel being different now, and now that I have the handle on the right side now, so I can use my right hand as I'm right-handed to reel in the thing. Previously it was on this side, and I had to use my left hand to do so, but now it's in the correct place. I have the correct reel, so there's no corrosion, or very little corrosion. And now I made some changes over here. So you may notice the lead hose is a little different, the way it's arranged anyway. Now I have an actual nice elbow right here, so it kind of makes this a little cleaner in a sense. Instead of just like having it stick that way, now it's sticking up this way, so it makes a bit of a cleaner look to it when it comes to hose management. And then I guess now I don't really need to use this for a while, until I, you know, have another thing to, I guess, hold on to, I guess. Might be like a little part or something like that. The motor is definitely more or less the same. Now you also notice, though, the whip hose from going from my tank to here is actually a lot shorter, because the tank is in here now. Previously it was way over there, and I had a long hose, because I thought, oh, I have a long hose, why don't I use it? And so I ran the hose all the way from that corner down here, ran along this wall, right behind all this, all these shelves and stuff like that, so it kind of like hides it a little bit. And then it reached to the motor. While it worked, the issue I was running into is that so instead of, you know, working with a 50-foot hose, now I'm actually working with a 100-foot hose, pretty much. Plus all the whip hose, and so yeah, it's definitely about more or less 100 feet of hose. So what the problem that was creating, though, was that it just wasn't the motor was just not enough to keep all the hose filled with liquid, if that makes sense. when there's not enough liquid or pressure in the hose, what's going to happen is that when you pull the trigger, it's just going to be a little weaker of a stream because you have so much more to push. So I guess this motor just wasn't enough. Even though this is supposed to be like a 4 GPM rated motor, I guess that's still not enough. So having to realize that, I made the change. Rather, it was actually kind of easy too. It wasn't too hard. It was just a bit of a hassle, a pain in the ass, but overall it wasn't too hard. All I had to do was just take out the long hose, and I just have this whip hose now, this hose I had previously, and it's just now directly connected to the tank, and the tank is now here, which makes sense in the long run because I don't have to like run all the way over there just to refill it with rinseless wash. Now I just have it over here. It's all kind of like connected, right? It's all kind of bundled up to here in this area, right? You have the rinseless wash, or the rinseless wash tank, or the keg, right? And then my pressure washer stuff is all right here. My buckets, my water softener tank, and so it's very streamlined now. So I don't have to like run over there and then go back over here and such. So so now I can actually also talk about other things that were not mentioned during the rinseless wash video. So I have these guns mounted, right? This is the garden hose sprayer gun, and this is my pressure washer, my go-to pressure washer gun, which is from McKillans. And funny enough, up here is also another foam cannon mount of sorts, except that this is actually from McKillans. I only have one because these are just expensive as hell, because this one is 20 bucks, whereas 4 of these MINGLE automatic foam cannon automatic quick connect mounts, 4 of them are 20 bucks. So yeah, you definitely get what you pay for, I guess. I mean, this does operate a lot nicer. Let me try to do this part with one hand, but yeah, you can still do it with, actually I did that with 2 fingers. But anyway, when you actually use this McKillans automatic quick connect, it's actually a lot better, like that. It just works pretty flawlessly. So in fact, I can even do it again and then like that. So pretty cool. This is a lot more consistent. You can definitely trust the quality on McKillans stuff, but it is expensive as hell. So when you try to buy a lot of them, yeah. This is a little different because this is the male quick connect for the gun. So this is a quarter inch male connect for the pressure washer guns. And then this is, funny enough, also I swapped out the quick connect on my McKillans Swivel Pro to the automatic quick connect. Previously it had the old one. It was just a regular quick connect. It definitely worked, but it was time for a bit of an upgrade, right? Once I swapped it to this, it's pretty nice, and it's something you don't want to go back to quite as much. And then, funny enough, this spray gun that is supposed to be for garden hose also has an adapter going from garden hose thread to this 1/4 inch quick connect, so I can use pressure washer sort of accessories with this garden hose gun, and you can actually use pressure washer nozzles to your garden hoses, and it just connects like that. This is like a off-brand one, so the quick connect could be a mixed experience, but it still works. You just have to make sure it clicks like the other ones over there, but it works. If you know what you're doing, it works, and they can get by with it. Okay, so one of the biggest changes though to this setup or this area is my pressure washer. So you can kind of see now the biggest change, one of the biggest changes is these hooks right here that's actually holding on to the pressure washer. The pressure washer is now mounted onto the wall technically, But what's actually happening is that it's rather having to screw on a pressure washer to like a board, and then you put the board on the posts and stuff like that. That's like a typical setup for a lot of people's garages. But what I did, and I got this idea from AMI Detail, is just hook them on with these garage hooks, right? These aren't the same ones, of course, but the idea is there. So I'm using these garage hooks to hold on to the handle, and that's how I'm actually holding this pressure washer. So now instead of having to screw on the pressure washer onto the wall, it just hooked onto here, technically, and it's just being held by the handle rather than, you know, the feet being screwed in and stuff like that. You know, you can kind of see with like Jamie, the cleaner's setup, that's how he did it. He just like directly screwed the foot onto the board and stuff like that. That's how he did it. Yes, you can definitely do that. And apparently that makes the pressure washer go on a little longer, but we have yet to see that. So we have to, like, you know, kind of like keep wait and see about if that's even true or not. But that's just the apparent thing I've heard from a number of people. So, but I didn't want to do that because I want a more of like a modular solution, meaning if this were to go out, I can just, you know, literally unwind this silicone tie right here that's onto the handle, because otherwise, if it, you know, because this thing is going to vibrate, and when things vibrate, it's going to move somewhere. It's going to move back or move forward, and if it moves back too much, it's going to hit the board, and then it'll like vibrate the board, and it's going to vibrate the garage, and it'll create a noisy experience. So what I did was, actually, funny enough, use my previous mistake. Now it's becoming more of a something I converted to something useful now. So I forget the term for it, yeah. But anyways, I essentially saved this mistake now, and I converted this mistake into a, well, maybe a rather useful thing. So what I previously did was, I had this screw. It's like a star bit screw. It was too long, so and also this part isn't threaded, so that's why it just doesn't. It's not quite in there. And what happened also was that the board was moving back and forth because this part wasn't threaded. Only some parts were threaded, and it was driving some part into the actual post over here. And what I did in the end was, basically, I went ahead and bought myself another number 10 screw from Home Depot, and I just drove it in there, and that ultimately secured it. But I actually recently bought myself another like, these are like, I think these are like galvanized screws. These are star bit screws, also number 10 or 8. But yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them. And these are basically construction screws. So these are like the more like go-to, like all-around screws that you can use for your house. And I drove this one into the 2x4 or whatever, and then that's fastened into the post. So now I have 2 screws down here to really hold it down on the bottom. And of course, I did the same. I think I did the same thing. Okay, no, never mind. Same thing that happened up here, right? As you can see. What I also did was try to do was to stop the board from going back and forth with these silicone ties. I just filled up the gap with the silicone tie, and it did hold it a little bit, but it was still like wiggling side to side. So it was kind of wobbly. So I was like, all right, well, let's fix that. And then yeah, I put the other Home Depot screw and then, you know, put that in there. And so yeah, now it's actually really secured, hardly wiggling than before. You should have seen it before. If you think this is not secured, you should have seen the really first install of this board. But anyway, now it's properly secured. And what I also did was, when it comes to these hooks, I used the same construction screws. I mounted it to here onto the board, and I think these are like 3-inch or 4-inch at most, somewhere around there, 2.5 at the least. But basically, yes, these are holding up the hooks, and then the hooks, I have 2 hooks with 2 prongs, right? So it should be holding up just fine. I don't think it's like bending forward and like that. It's not slouching or whatever. So yeah, my Ryobi automotive pressure washer now is up in the air, suspended, which meaning I can have some space on the floor. So that's how I was able to create this amount of space for my buckets. So I have my buckets right here, my 2 buckets I mainly use. And now I have my water softener tank comfortably sitting in this corner. So that means I can just, whenever I go do my detailing, I can, once I open up the garage and all that stuff, I can take my hose, connect it right to here. And now I'm already connected right here with this hose that's connected to my pressure washer. So it's that much more seamless. And I've been really happy with how it's looking right now in terms of like the arrangement. And yes, it looks kind of funny seeing my Ryobi pressure washer now suspended up in the air like that. But it's actually it actually changes a lot. It really opens up some room that you can put like one of your most like used equipment now on the floor closer to whatever you want, and it's actually such a game changer, right? If you kind of think about it, you would think like, oh, you're just putting up your pressure washer up in the air and then mounting up to the wall and then whoop-de-doo, but it actually frees up quite a bit of space and makes you able to pull off that one other change you want to do. Now you can put your stuff right there, and it's just really like ties up that loose end. It's just nice to have the ability to mount your pressure washer however you can up to the wall. So that's how I did it. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm just using hooks instead of screws into the feet like that. So yeah, it's again looking pretty good. I'm just looking at the hooks, making sure there's no slouch on it, or yeah, there's no like bend to it. So these are just holding up just fine. Each of these hooks should be rated for 200 pounds at least. So I don't think this is any issues. So I don't think this thing is 200 pounds. So I think we should be good on that. But yeah, so should be strong, should be holding up just fine. And then once I actually use it, it should hold in place because I have the silicone tie that was previously here to hold the board. Now it's just here to actually hold the pressure washer from going anywhere, hopefully. So that's the idea of it. You can kind of see, sorry if it's too dark, but it's wrapped around the handle, and then hopefully, so that means as this vibrates, the silicone tie will hold it in place. So yeah, pretty cool. Again, I can say I have my pressure washer mounted to a wall, technically. So it's just hooked onto the wall, basically. All right, so that's basically the big gist of this space right here. Is actually like looking nice now, functionally at least. So I have all my buckets right here, and a pressure washer right there, and then all my hose reels and whatever right here, and then my foam cannons are right here, including the one I use most right here, right? Kind of want to clean up this part sometime. I'll probably like put this somewhere, I don't know, maybe more towards over here or something. I don't know. I'll think of a space to put these foam cannon mounts somewhere else. Maybe not here, because it all depends on how big these foam cannons are. Some of them are like wide and some of them are like tall. So this one's a little more on the tall side, even though it does have a wide bottom. It's like both wide and tall, I guess. But so unfortunately, that doesn't fit here all that well. But when it comes to this foam cannon, this foam cannon is actually a older Rain Kovo foam cannon that cost me 20 bucks at the time. I actually bought another one somewhere, so it's actually should be around here in the garage somewhere. But yeah, again, I like this space now even more than before because it's very like streamlined for detailing purposes now, especially with this pressure washer just sitting right there now instead of sitting in this corner. Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, it would have been sitting up taking up the corner right there, and then I would not have been able to put my water softener right there. So now it's actually like, you know, I don't have to move the water softener anymore. So that's actually like a little less time to get all this stuff out, and it should be a lot more like quicker to set up all this stuff. And over here, for those who are following the channel, you may recognize this. This is my water distiller tank. This is where I store a lot of my distilled water. This is 3 gallons. With it is a little clamp right here, hose clamp, clamping onto this part of the water tank. It's like a, think of it like a, what do you call those? Water dispensers at like offices, right? With the little nozzle right here, and you can like open it, and it'll dispense water for this for you. But obviously, I wrote car wash only, so yeah, definitely don't want to use that for actual drinking water. So yeah, that way I can actually put this distilled water, transfer it into here to refill up the water whenever it's running low, and put whatever rinseless wash I'm feeling. And yeah, so because this used to be over there, but yeah, over there is a little too far, so I thought I'd move it over here because I had this rack right here. So nice, right? Yep, so I have this, speaking of which, I have this rack on this side of the garage, and it's just holding random stuff for now. I haven't really like thought of like, okay, this is, you know, this space is for that. I haven't like really designate anything for here. But right now, I guess this part is holding all the parts for this side, right? In case I need to fix something, I can like go to here and then hopefully fix it with whatever's going on over there. All right, so this is actually just extra little parts for the mount. So this is, I think I still have one more pressure washer gun mount just sitting right there. In this McKillans box, I have one more female quick connect right here, the automatic quick connect, just sitting right there, waiting to be used one day, along with one more male right here as well. So I have some spares when it comes to that. Anyways, this is just my testing kit for my water softener stuff. I actually think I need to recharge the water softener soon. This stuff is just spare parts, it's just screws and stuff like that for the pressure washer mounts and foam cannon mounts. Over here, don't worry about that too much. Right now I just have like miscellaneous parts right here, including all of my garage hooks still. More garage hooks down here. Excuse me. And then it actually comes with also these like Velcro straps, so you can like hold on to like garden hose and stuff like that, or whatever hose you want to mount it onto the wall for storage purposes. I'll definitely link the garage hooks in the comment section below, or not comment section, in the description. This is like a 12 pack for like 20 bucks or something like that. So it's pretty decent, right? Bunch of sprayer bottles, spray bottles over here. And then here's my mobile, quote unquote, keg that I've been trying to like, you know, get used to now. So this is like gonna be my pre-wash keg before I actually use the rinseless wash keg over there, or the rinseless wash setup. So yeah, basically this is like my, you know, the front line. You use this first to really break down all the dirt, grit, all that stuff. And this is a lot more mobile, lighter, and this is why I move the airless keg, right? Don't want to get into that too much. So yeah, other than that, not too many things are different. The only thing I can share you guys that is drastically different and worth talking about are these quick connects. These quick connects, let me see if I have any spares over here. I thought I had one extra part right here somewhere, but I don't know where that one went. Oh yeah, maybe it's in the drawer, maybe, hopefully, but oh, there we go. So let me take you guys a closer look at these quick connects. So this is an extra one I have lying around for right now. So these quick connects are a little special because usually these are actually like a hydration quick connects, meaning they're actually typically used for more like hydration bladders. So the hydration bladders or water bladders are used for like hiking purposes. So you can actually like, you know, quick connect your sort of like mouthpiece for, and then whenever you quick disconnect, let me just try to do this with one hand. It actually shuts, it automatically closes the valve right here until you open it up by connecting it here. So you want to be careful of how you arrange your stuff. So, because I actually had the male connect on the tank, which is not a good idea because it'll shoot out all the liquid and stuff like that if it's pressurized. But yeah, typically like that, it'll quick connect, and once it's quick connected, it's all pressurized. It opens up the valve, and then you can drink water like that. But I actually am planning to use these to quick connect these garden sprayers, including the IK sprayers, because I got this idea from Franco from Devil in Details. He has these quick connects so that he can like easily quick connect to a water tank, right? Or some sort of source with water, just plain old water, to quickly and easily clean out the nozzles or these wands. Because a lot of these wands do build up a lot of like soap and just nasty crap over time, and what we typically do is just change out the little filter, but you can like actually prolong it by just washing it right after, and what that does, it'll keep these like filters that are built into these wands a lot longer, so that way you don't have to like swap them, and then you don't have to like buy the little filters as often, theoretically. So hopefully these hydration quick connects will actually hold on to the pressure that this makes. So this should be like around 45. So hopefully this will hold on to 45 psi, and you know, that's that. So that's I mean, the reason why I went with this one over the one that Franco used in his video, the white ones, is because these were cheaper. These are like actually like half the price, if not even less. So these are because this comes in like a 3-pack or something like that, or like a 2-pack, whatever. I'll also leave it in the description. So these are a lot cheaper. They come in more. So that way, yeah, I was able to, you know, make more or make more of this stuff happen. So that's why I went with these ones over the white ones, even though the white ones are actually like rated for like 100 psi or 80 psi or whatever. But I don't know what these are rated for. So I'll be the big guinea pig for that one, and see if they work for this application. But the idea is there. So if these were to bust, I'll just go ahead and pick another quick connect. I'll pick the white ones and then swap them out. It shouldn't be that much of a problem. So I actually also bought these hose clamps. I bought more of these, and yeah, so that's pretty much that. And then the same thing I did over here, because I'm making this the water tank, and so I'm going to use this tank to wash out these wands whenever I need to wash out these wands. All right, so that's pretty much that, I think. There's been a lot more space in here, and it's just been a lot more streamlined with this whole cleanup and everything. So yeah, the whole like asbestos clean out, whatever you want to call it, evacuation, has worked out more ways than one, because it was just like an opportunity for me to really clean out the garage and also rearrange it to so that it's more streamlined for detailing purposes. So yeah, I just been really liking it. It's been turning out pretty well. Oh yeah, and by the way, my air compressor is now sitting over here holding the door for the boiler. So yeah, or the water heater, excuse me. And yep, that's where I bought this drying rack for the towels. Also been working out pretty well. Oh yeah, so this is actually a pair of WMDs, or weapons of mass drying, from House of Rags. These have been working pretty well. These are really great for like rinseless washing, because they come. The medium size comes with 2 towels, So that way you can actually use that and dry an entire car doing the rinseless method, definitely. This is a GOAT version 1 drying blanket from DIY Detail. I actually also really do like the drying blanket. Yeah, it's like, it's really interesting to see this micro weave, or what micro, what do you call, well, whatever the name is called, or whatever the term is, like this micro fluffiness, unlike the Go and the WMD, does things different, and it actually picks up water, you know, just as efficiently, if not maybe better, and you may have a little more control. I don't know. It's just a different towel, in its own way, in its own right, and it's actually really, really good for its own right. The weight is great. It's around 1200 GSM, but just, I don't know, just something about the control, the ergonomics and everything is really cool. This one's just heavy. This one's 23, I think it was, or 24 GSM, 2400 GSM. Just a big, heavy duty towel for like big cars. I like it for its own, in its own right, for what it is, but a lot of times it's pretty heavy, and by the time you're done with it, it's pretty damn heavy even more. So I like these WMDs. I feel like maybe this towel is kind of like the in between, right? I mean, these two are also right around 1200 GSM, but I don't know. Just having two towels, the way it feels, the way it's stitched. I like the stripe look on them, really cool. It's just different. Also, it's also different in its own right. It's kind of really neat that you can like actually come up with different ways to have like these drying towels, and they do some things different. Even though, yeah, at the end of the day, you're still gonna have a dry car, but yeah, it's just kind of mind-boggling of how you can like how many ways you can engineer a towel. It's just crazy to say like that. So anyways, let's just go back over here to wrap up the video. So again, just a quick little overview. Look at it. Look at this little quote-unquote masterpiece of the reel, how my buckets are arranged now, my water softener tank, now my mounted or hooked, wall hooked Ryobi pressure washer, got my versus wash setup all refined now, especially with the reel, the arrangement and everything. And then having a shorter hose from the tank to here absolved the lower pressure issue. So now it's actually, you know, it can keep a consistent pressure, and it'll keep the hose pressurized. So that's pretty cool. I guess the only issue now is this contraption. I do want to slim it down more somehow. We'll figure that out, I guess, eventually. I'll probably like use the rest of the garage hooks to maybe put some stuff over here. And yeah, probably move out some. But we'll figure that out. So anyways, that's all I got. What do you guys think? You have any comments? Leave it down below. Any questions or anything like that? Oh yeah, I need to like actually change this so that it faces upward now, more forward. Because I used to have the Mini Cooper or the Mini Countryman take up a lot of space, so that's why I had to like move this part more down, and then that way I don't have to like worry about hitting the car like that. But now that we have the Mini Cooper, it doesn't take up as much space, so probably will have it face up or forward like that more, and then see how that works out. So anyways, that's all I got. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos in the future, especially about detailing. Really helps out, and I do appreciate it. So this has my journal, detailing journal for, what is it now? It's the 20th of January. So yep, of 2026. So we're already almost over with January. But yeah, you know, we still have 11 more months to go for 2026. So you do have time for your little resolutions, think about them, or kind of get yourself ready to tackle those resolutions somehow. But we still have some time. Don't worry about it. It's just the beginning. We just have only begun for this year. So thanks, and hope you all take care, and hope to see you all in the next video. Shine out.